Sorry, April, you're right. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yes, back on the issue of voting rights. You said the president issued some executive orders on voting rights, but they don't deal with the issue of Shelby versus Holder 2013 when it comes to pre-clearance. So how do you equate that?
Well, I wasn't intending to equate it. The question earlier was broadly about voting, right? It was not about whether or not it's essential to move forward with legislation that would make voting more accessible, ensure that everyone knew that every vote was counted. I think it's important to know and understand the president doesn't feel that the John Lewis Voting Rights Act is a replacement for the For the People Act, and that it is necessary to move forward with more than that.
And a follow-up on that. Tomorrow, Joe Manchins Meeting, it's reported, he's meeting with civil rights leaders who pretty much align themselves with this administration. And what are your hopes? Because, I mean, they seem like they could be your last hope, if there is any hope, to move him on his opposition against the For the People Act.
Well, look, I don't know that I can speak to a meeting that has no member of the administration is participating in, April, but I can tell you that the president is going to continue, and as are members of this administration who've been leading this effort, from Susan Rice to Cedric, to anyone who's at the highest level, and obviously to the vice president when she returns from her trip, to advocating for a path forward on how we can ensure that everyone knows their vote counts, that we make voting more accessible, that we make it easier, not harder. Those are fundamentals. The president, the vice president, other members of the administration will be open to, eager to have that discussion with anyone who wants to be constructive in that moving forward.
That his heart will change.
I'm not going to make a prediction about Senator Manchin's position on an issue. I'd point you to him to speak to that. Go ahead.
On the same topic, could you speak more to the actual argument that Senator Manchin was making, which was less about the content of the For the People Act and more about the fact that it doesn't have bipartisan support and that being behind it would be wrong for that reason alone?
Well, I think the president's view continues to be that making voting easier for people, making it easier to vote, ensuring people have access to that fundamental American right should be something that Democrats and Republicans all support. And he certainly will continue to advocate for that. I don't know that I have more of a comment on Senator Manchin's position. I'd point you to his spokespeople for that.
And then, given the fact that we've been talking about how a bill becomes a law, if he's against the For the People Act, does that mean that for all intents and purposes, at least for right now, it is dead?
I'm certainly not going to make that prediction. As you know, there can be many ups and downs of legislation moving forward. And as I noted earlier, the president's been clear he's willing to work with anyone to enact common sense reforms that benefit the American people, that make it easier to vote. He'll have those discussions with Democratic leadership, and we'll work together on what the path forward looks like. Go ahead.
Thank you.